All right, welcome to the channel. This your boy Chuck, AG the car guy, right here at the headquarters of EJI Motoring. So today, as you saw on the thumbnail and on the post, we got a 2013 Nissan Juke. So this little funny little Nissan vehicle. So today, what we got going on is, like I described, it has a timing noise, rattle, should I say, coming from the engine while the vehicle is running. So this vehicle here is notorious for timing chain failure. So we got one here for the first time. So I'm trying to tackle it. So this is what we got going on. Let me show you guys. All right, let me put the hood prop on. All right, let me start it up so you can can kind of hear it too before we get started. All right, push the button. Starts up, everything runs okay, no issue. But like I said, you hear that noise? So that's what the customer is complaining about. So I went ahead and of course I knew about this. Or I never done one, but I knew about them. This is the turbocharged 1.6 liter engine. So this is what you got going on. So today we're gonna tackle it and we're gonna tear into it. The customer did buy their own timing kit. I don't always like to use customers' parts, but they decided to buy theirs. I am not responsible if it doesn't work out. I do the job and make sure I do it right, but this is what a DNG. I don't know. I normally use Coil or Felpro. I trust their brand better, but but this is the one they bought, so we're gonna see how good it is. Let's go. We got everything supposedly. Yeah, this is for the oil pump. And let me turn this engine off. I don't want it to heat up too much. Let's cut it off. Nobody likes working on a hot engine. So I got all this here. The tensioner. That's the tensioner. Got the oil pump chain. And I got the main crank chain. Just a very skinny chain. You can see the color links. Got the two black ones and one gold. Got a black one and one gold. So I'm gonna open it up, spread it so it can be clear to see. And we're gonna go ahead and dig into that. All right. First things first. Take the wheels off. My impact getting weak. All right. Now I'm gonna go ahead and remove this shield here so we can have full access into this bad boy. right. Take off the turbo pipe and move it to the side so it's not to block our view. 10mm. And take off the ground. All these has all these clips here, so we're just going to I'll try as much as possible not to disconnect too many things. Okay, that is pretty much the biggest thing blocking this front cover. That just taking off that mount is the biggest thing. So once you're there, the next thing is you know, just start removing the front cover. That's it. It has about 2 connectors going to the oil supply actuator. So I'm gonna go ahead and remove this thing here. Where's my Alright, so the front of the engine is right here. So the rest of this is the front cover. So of course I'm going to go ahead and remove the engine drive belt, and it has 2 connections. I'm going to go ahead and lower this engine so you can kind of pick it up, lower the vehicle so the engine comes up. I kind of see how the engine comes up. So now I have a better reach. There's a connector, like I said, going to the oil control actuators. So I'm gonna go ahead and unplug them, and then I'm going to remove the engine drive belt and the front belt tensioner, and then we're gonna remove the crank pulley, and then we're gonna be able to start taking this front cover off. Okay, that's what we have to do. All right, so we got trying to get the tensioner out. It's a pretty tricky situation here. So once you take off this the engine mount, you support the bottom, kind of pick the engine up a little bit, and that's going to expose the tensioner. And this is the tool I'm using, CRT47, and it looks like that's what I have it on snugged. It's still not on it straight because of the corner, so we're gonna attempt to take it off. I already took the belt off. Alright, you're able to break it. I have the tension. I put a bolt. It has a slot there where once you release the tension, you can actually put a bolt on it to leave it untensioned. You know, so when you go to reinstall the belt, you don't have to use hold tension on it while you're removing it. It's already pre-tensioned. I mean, pre-released. So we're gonna go ahead and back this bolt all the way out. A very tight spot. I'm doing this just so I can show, because some video I have seen on YouTube and everywhere else, they don't show you to this point, you know. And I feel like, why show somebody where you are and you don't actually show them how to get there? So I'm doing this to fill the void and show how everybody how to get there. How do you get to that cover? So got it loosened all the way. We'll try and see if I can walk it out from the top. Okay, it's possible. See, come out from the top, and that is pretty much it for all that. Right, so since the part of my impact refused to work, so they say necessity is the mother of ingenuity. Well, I saw this video on YouTube on how to remove a crank without the belt, so I'm gonna attempt it here. They say you put, okay, you're gonna put the one on the crank and one on the AC pump, and then wrap it around back onto the crank. This belt is a little bit longer than what was being used in the video, but it's an old, I'm gonna change this belt anyway, so I'm gonna use it. I'm gonna start going around looking for a belt right now. So I'm gonna try and see if that's gonna pull it in. Got it wrapped around. I got my 19. And gonna go on the direction of loosening the engine. Okay. All right. So it's going on that direction. I'm gonna take this one off. I'm going to use my torque wrench that ratchets and is as long as a breaker bar, so this should work for me. All right. All right. Moment of truth. Let's see if that works. Uh-oh. It's coming loose. Came loose. All right. That's how you can, other way of removing your crank pulley without an impact. Okay, maybe help. So I'm gonna go ahead and back this all the way out. All right, back at the top. Over here we got a 13 holding this first one. This thing got different bolts holding different areas. I didn't think the oil would be that high above the oil pan, but it is. So I would suggest, if you're doing this, make sure you take off your, drain your oil first if you don't want to make a mess. That's why we do this, so you can learn from my mistakes. All right, my people. Unfortunately, my battery did die, so I was able to still get it out the top. It was a struggle. It's not an easy thing to get out from the top, but you sure can get it out the top. What that tells me is I'm probably going to be applying the silicone on the engine. I won't be applying it on the cover, because I know it's going to be a fight trying to fit it in there, and you might end up wiping all your silicone, and then you end up doing the job again because it's going to be leaking. So this is what it looks like, the front cover. I got the new chain set up right here, and got my phone on the charge, so I want to show you guys. This is what I'm saying. Make sure you drain your oil first. Usually I don't have to, when I do this job, the oil pan is normally deep enough to hold the oil while I take the pan off, the cover off. But this one actually goes all the way down to very far down. So you might want to drain the oil before you go ahead and take this off to avoid, look at the mess I made. Good thing I had some soaking pads. I was able to throw it over here to catch some of it with, so it don't end up spraying all over my shop. So this is the engine. This is what it looks like. Okay, what it looks like. It's not too bad like the ones I've seen. This one, it is loose. The chain, the tensioner is stretched out all the way out. As you can see, it's all the way pushed out, and it's a lot of movement going on here. A lot of movement. So I'm gonna go ahead and change it out. It looks like it's already in the timing positions where it needs to be. So I'm going to take all this off, and I'm going to clean it all out, and we're gonna go ahead and retime this engine. All right, got the chain going on here. Got the two marks, black mark, and should be another one, gold mark at the bottom. So I'm gonna go ahead. This is the timing mark here on the crank. So we just have to make sure that's on there. on there. Alright, gonna have to turn it just a little bit so we can line up the other groove. Okay. Okay, it's on there. So I'm gonna go in the bottom and hook it up at the bottom. I'll come back later to show you. Let me show you what I got going on so far. So you can see the black mark. It's on the top right here with the groove on the intake. I mean the exhaust, and then on the side of the intake, the black is there. Okay. And we come under here and see at the bottom, I got the marking, the gold part lined up at 6 o'clock. The dial on the thing is standing straight up. And then you got this one to the for the water pump. I mean oil pump pointing to the side, and then you have it right here too. So what I'm going to do is now, so I'm going to go ahead and pull the pins on the intake. I mean on the chain. So I'm gonna pull the intake. I mean the the tensioner on the side for the oil pump, and then this one up here is for the main chain. So I'm gonna go ahead and pull it too. Pop. So that puts tension on it. And you used to have like a lot of slack on this side. I know you saw it move a little bit because he put all those slacks on this side. You can see how far it's pushed out compared to the last one, compared to before we took this off. You see how far it pushed up compared to before we started this job. So it's a lot different from this. So this is what we got going on. All right. Up here, so I'm gonna go ahead and rotate it a few times, and we're gonna check our timing one more time, and we should be okay. Alright, here's the aftermath. Finished with it. I got a new belt installed, and the vehicle is running, which is running good. It ain't quiet, more quiet than it was anyway. But yeah, it was a success. But I would tell you, man, this timing cover, man, you gotta be ready. It's a tight fit, man. Getting that front cover off and then installing it, you know, I had to put the liquid, so I ended up having to put it on the engine itself, on the front cover of the engine, front of the engine, and then also applied it on the cover. In that way, anyone that is scraped off while I was trying to fight it in this hole, the ones on the engine face would also replace it. So, and that's exactly what happened when I was trying to fit this in. A lot of it rubbed off on even on the sprockets. You know, it's all over the place. It was a mess, man. I even had some cuts on my hand trying to fight this thing in. It's a tight fit. Got that little nipple down there that is a problem. If you can somehow shave it off, you might be able to get it in easy. That's the problem. It gets stuck in between the body, and you can fight it all night, you know. But I was able to get it in, so the job is done. It's not leaking oil, so we're going to wrap it up, put the engine mount. That's the only thing remaining. Just put the engine mount, put that bracket back on, and the job is done. All right guys, so with that, I'm just gonna go ahead and get out of here, wrap this up. And it's a win for me and for the customer. So please don't forget to hit subscribe to the channel. We do this for y'all. You know, you might need help doing something like this, and my suffering will alleviate your suffering a little bit. You know, at least you know what you're about to get into before you get into this thing. So, all right, good luck to your DIY on doing the job or whatever job you want to do. Peace.